Some of the largest crowds ever seen in the city centre assembled for the royal visit by Her Majesty the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh on the 29th of October 1954. This was the first visit by a reigning monarch to Newcastle since a rather low-key visit on the 7th of April 1943 by King George VI and Queen Elizabeth. A trolleybus inspection tower provided a good vantage point for a lucky corporation transport staff. The crush of people in the city centre was described by the police as the greatest ever seen, although at this time huge crowds were becoming quite common following Newcastle United's recent successes in the FA Cup. The coronation had taken place just over a year earlier in June 1953, and this was the first chance Novocastrians had had to see their new queen at close quarters. So many people were waiting at the Jesmond Road Great North Road junction and on Barras Bridge that additional crush barriers were hastily erected. The royal visit to Tyneside had begun early in the morning, with Her Majesty's arrival in the royal train at Monk's Eton, and had included the inspection of a parade at Tynemouth. It was to end for Newcastle at 2:30 in the afternoon, when the royal party crossed the Tyne Bridge into Gateshead. Earlier royal visits to the city had, as we'll hear, a specific purpose, usually the opening of some large public building. The 1954 visit to Newcastle was one of a series made by Her Majesty, subsequent to her coronation, to major centres of population throughout the country, in order to familiarise herself with its places and people. To this end, official engagements were deliberately kept to a minimum, and the emphasis was laid on motorcades, which gave as many people as possible an opportunity to see the royal couple. The walkabout was many years in the future. At Blackett Street Post Office, office workers crane out of windows hours before the procession was due to arrive. Meanwhile, in the grounds of the Royal Grammar School, the 272 Northumbrian Regiment Royal Artillery prepares for a 21-gun salute. Some eager ladies seek a precarious perch as more crowds wait outside the Mansion House in Fernwood Road, Jesmond, the Lord Mayor's official residence, where they were entertained by the massed bands of the 1st and 4th 5th Battalions of the Royal Northumberland Fusiliers, TA. The Queen arrives at the Mansion House, where she inspects the guard of honour of 3 officers and 100 men of the 4th 5th Battalion of the Royal Northumberland Fusiliers, commanded by Captain J.W. Wilson. The Queen next entered the Mansion House for luncheon with the Lord Mayor, Alderman Colonel R. Mould Graham, while the crowd waited patiently. Before luncheon, and unfilmed, members of the City Council and other prominent citizens were presented. After lunch, further presentations were made in a marquee in the Mansion House grounds. The royal party left for the city centre via Osborne Road, Jesmond Dean Road and the Great North Road, the last of which was lined with school parties. Over the previous 70 years, there had been several significant royal visits to Newcastle. In 1884, the Prince of Wales had opened the Hancock Museum, the Reference Library in New Bridge Street, and Jesmond Dene as a public park. In July 1906, he returned as King Edward VII to open the Royal Victoria Infirmary, the main block of Armstrong College, and the railway bridge across the Tyne, which bears his name. George V opened the new Tyne Bridge and visited Heaton Secondary School in October 1928. Just before the war, on the 21st of February 1939, King George VI opened the new medical school in Queen Victoria Road. The royal route through the city centre was by Barras Bridge, Northumberland Street, Blackett Street, Grey Street and Mosley Street. The day's excitement over, the crowds disperse, and the trolleybuses resume their interrupted journeys.